Batman, on level, you could be the greatest individual in football history.
Today, I am joined by a very, very special guest, ex-Premier League player, ex-England player, Matt Jarvis. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm very well, thank you.
And for people who don't know, Matt Jarvis was actually a Manchester United fan growing up. So we have a bit of a connection, really.
Definitely, yeah. Loved it. Absolutely loved it as a kid. Going and watching and following United, and then obviously, living a dream and playing against them. So, absolutely incredible. And obviously now I've stopped. I still obviously follow them and watch them with massive interest.
Hopefully, well, watching them, we did not entertain at all from a Manchester United point of view today. What did you make of the game?
Look, unfortunately, I think over the years, Wolves has always been a really difficult opponent for United, and you sort of see again, it just as a United fan, everyone wants them to just go out and play this entertaining, attacking football, and that's what happened. First game of the season, everyone's absolutely delighted with scoring goals, enjoying it. But it's not that simple. It's not that easy. Obviously, it could have been a lot better today. I think attacking wise, just the quickness, the pace, the counter, everything about it just needs to go at pace, and unfortunately, it didn't quite happen for us today.
I think from a Wolves point of view, yeah, I think Wolves were very, very unlucky today. I think David De Gea, the save that he made was just incredible. And I think United, did we really test their goal at all? Mason Greenwood had a couple chances. Like I think in the first half, we had 0 shots on target.
Yeah, well, that's what Wolves. I've played for Wolves, absolutely amazing club, and that's exactly what they do. They are a very good side. They're well drilled, and the new managers come in and they've got a whole new lease of life. The way that they're starting to play, and they've got exciting players. So there's always going to be an opportunity, especially at Molineux to go and win the game. And De Gea pulled off an incredible double save, and kept United in it.
Because I think from the Wolves point of view, I think the first 2 games, you lot have had 42 shots, which is the second most in the league behind Liverpool, which is incredible. And how you haven't scored a goal in the league yet baffles me, really.
Yeah, I know it's absolutely incredible, but I think as Wolves fans, they can see that they can see what the new manager's trying to bring, and that attacking play, the shooting. I mean, every fan wants to see their team, having shots at goal and entertaining. So I'm sure it will turn at some point. But for a United fan today, it was good that it wasn't today.
What did you make of Adama Traore's performance? Because Adama Traore was always the player that causes a bit of controversy, really, in football.
He's got everything, hasn't he? Every time he gets the ball, you just feel like you're playing a computer game where you can just press R1 or whatever is R2 and just run, and he gets it, and he just bullies everyone. He knocks it. He can do absolutely everything with the ball, and teams are scared of him. You look at what he did against Spurs. It was incredible. So. Yeah, and he showed spells especially with Jimenez, like the combination play and his assists, not last season but the season before. Yeah, everyone was like, right, he's really turned up now. Yeah, everyone thought he was amazing, but just didn't have that final cross or that end product. But he's really starting to show people that he has got that, and I think today it's one of them. It can't happen all the time, but. He just shows glimpses of what he can do, and he is a massive outlet for Wolves.
Because from a United point of view, I'll be honest, like I'm not Adama Traore's biggest fan, but when he's on it, he's on it. And today, for me, our midfield will just get bypassed. Like him on the counter is just deadly. Trincao on the other side, what a signing he's been so far. He's looked really, really good. A couple of times beat Luke Shaw, sat Maguire down once. Jimenez, obviously, with the injury last year, now he's kind of slowly coming back into it. Got a couple goals in pre-season and stuff. So I think going forward, Wolves do look good, and they will score goals eventually.
Exactly. They've always been good in the last few years of their transfers and the signings and the type of player they're getting, and that they've added to the squad this year. And as you said, the attacking threat that they have, it's going to score goals. Yes, they haven't at the moment, but it is going to score goals, and it's only going to get better as a team with the manager getting his views and the way he wants the team to play. So I'm not worried as a former Wolves player at the moment. I think they'll get points on the board, they'll get goals, and they'll be fine.
Now we talked about your Wolves fan. As a United fan point of view, how do you think United are in general? Because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a manager that causes plenty of debate in the fan base.
I think they're always one defeat away from being everyone having a go at and everyone saying, "Oh, they're just not ready. They're not ready." For me personally, I look at last season and I think there was spells where I thought they're just playing unbelievable football. They're really like Cavani. For me, imagine signing Cavani 4 or 5 years ago. He's so good. His runs, his hold up play, his finishing. It's absolutely amazing. And what he did to galvanise the squad last year, him and Bruno, the way that I think the youngsters look at them and be like, right, the work ethic, the professionalism with them, it's outstanding. And I just think that there is a lot of pressure on them to do well, but with a rightful there is pressure on them because they're getting paid a hell of a lot of money. They're massive talent, and you're playing for Man United. You're going to have that pressure because you want to win trophies, and everyone expects it. So it's one that they're always going to be that one performance away for getting hammered. But at the time, Leeds especially, it was a fantastic performance, and you're looking at it like they've made signings now. Varane's back, Sancho's playing, and now we're gonna talk about it, but Ronaldo coming back, and as well, it is looking positive. And I think with Ronaldo, he'll have the same sort of impact as a Cavani, as a Fernandes, with that professionalism and the youngsters looking at them and going, he's a winner. He is, I can learn a thing or two from him. And if anyone's starting to not pull their weight, these players will make sure that they drag them through, and everyone will up their game. So it is exciting as a United fan looking at this current squad.
Because for me, I'll probably say in terms of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I'm probably one of his biggest critics. Because I'll be honest, I think I praise the guy for his rebuild job. Like for me, this is our best squad we've had post Alex Ferguson comfortably. But at the same time, like at times his in-game management is just lacking. For example, the Europa League final, he waited 100 minutes to make a sub. Like you saw Thomas Tuchel, for example, that sub that he made in the Super Cup, he took the keeper off. That Ole Gunnar Solskjaer probably should have done the same thing, for example. Last week again, Donny van der Beek probably should have come on. Like there's just off the pitch, I praise him, but on the pitch, like I expect a lot more from the manager.
Look, I understand as a manager, you live and by your decisions and your substitutions, and sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong. And as a manager, with like for instance, you were saying about Tuchel and changing a keeper, if it didn't work out, if Kepa didn't save any of them, everyone's looking at going, what a terrible decision that is. But just so happens that he did save a penalty and they won, and everyone's like, what a genius, what a great substitution that was. It's just one of them things. You make a decision, you live and die by it. And Solskjaer there is definitely sometimes I look at that squad and I think, why has he picked him, or why has he done that in this game? You think, why hasn't he brought him on, or why is he not playing? But you look at it, look at the record that he's got for away from home. He's breaking records there. He's making history, and can you keep having a go at him for when he's actually doing a hell of a job compared to what people thought he was going to do as well.
I hear that, but for me, from my point of view, it's kind of like if we look at our squad we have, we really should be competing for the top honors. Really, last season we should have not been in the Europa League position anyway.
No,
we should have.
That's true.
We should have beaten Istanbul, for example.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
What would you think United's expectations this season should be?
Oh, they've got to be challenging for the title, and they've got to be they've got to win trophies ultimately. When you're spending that sort of money in the squad that they've got, you've got to be challenging for the title. When you've got to be going for trophies, I don't think you can expect anything less.
Because for me, like this season, we have to make a title challenge. April, May time, we have to be there or thereabouts. Because for me, like if we're looking at a squad here, I think you could argue probably City or Chelsea have a better squad than us, but you still expect us to compete with them. We finished second last year. We signed one of the best players in the world, Cristiano Ronaldo, Rafa Varane, who today, which is oozing class, and Jadon Sancho is one of the best young talents in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like
But
the
you look at other,
expectation should be higher.
they will, and they are. But every other team has added to their squad as well, and every single season the teams get more and more difficult. That's the way it is. That's the best part of the Premier League. But United are certainly given themselves the best opportunity to do that.
What do you think of Jadon Sancho today? Because he's been coming under a lot of pressure today on social media and stuff about his performance.
Yeah, it's not going to be as simple as everyone thinks. He's been absolutely flying in the Bundesliga. He's going to come here and just going to set everything alight. It takes time. He's had that link-up play for so long. With his former teammates, he's come in here and just expected to hit the ground running. And for me as well, being a wide player, it is. You can see. It's not always easy coming into a team where you're used to doing certain things, and maybe they're playing a slightly different way, and there comes under a lot of pressure. But he knows, he's a fantastic talent, and he's going to come good, and he's going to be absolutely incredible for United. It's just going to take a little bit of time.
Because for me today, I just feel like Sancho at times was just picking up the ball quite deep. And you know how Sancho is. He wants to play those like little interchange passes, 1-2s and stuff, with potentially someone like Martial up front who could do that very well. But today he just didn't have that joy really.
Well, that's what it is. You've got to look at the way that sometimes the United player with the players that he's picked. You got like Cavani would like that little link-up play. I'm sure if Ronaldo's playing, he would like a little bit of that, but he would be pulling onto that fast stick and just waiting for crosses to come in. So you've got to look and who's going to be playing and what's going to work best for combination play, and that's where Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to need to make his decisions.
Because I've got his average positions up with Manchester United right now. If it pops up,
yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, right there. Like you can kind of see Jadon Sancho is still kind of deep, nearly level with, for example, Shaw down that left hand side, number 23.
Yeah.
And I think
he wants to get the ball, doesn't he?
Yeah, once I think obviously we have a fully fit side, Jadon Sancho is obviously going to move down to the right, and then I think the link up with Wan-Bissaka, he could struggle with at times. Because I'll be honest, like with someone like Wan-Bissaka, he's not really the best footballer, really. 1v1, unbelievable. But in terms of his technical ability going forward, there's still a lot to be decided of.
Yeah, okay. I'd agree. Wan-Bissaka defensively is the best in the Premier League. Going forward, yeah, he can improve on that. And with someone like Sancho in front of him, as long as he's making the right runs, he doesn't necessarily have to have the ball. As he's making that runs, that he can give space to Sancho to drive inside, to take the ball and be able to do something else rather than always offering himself to actually put a cross in. So there is that.
And I think with someone like Cristiano Ronaldo thrives with creativity, especially now at 36. He's going to love playing with someone like Sancho because Sancho's creative numbers are insane. Last year in the Bundesliga, we saw his link up with Erling Haaland.
Exactly. He's gonna be loving it. Every time he's going to be looking up to get the ball, Sancho is going to be that, making that darting behind that run. As long as you've got like Bruno or someone to just play it, Pogba to play him in and make that run, Ronaldo's always going to be in the box for someone to just slide it across for him to tap it in. And he might not have been necessarily loving the display from today, but he knows what he's going to be getting. And especially in that team, he's always going to get himself a chance to score a goal.
Because with Ronaldo, I think he thrives with creativity right now at his age, which I understand. But I think at times, you see United, we really struggled to get the number 9 involved at times for me. Because like Cavani came on today and he had 0 touches in the opposition's box. At times, United going forward do look a bit toothless.
Yeah, but I think Ronaldo nowadays, he doesn't want to be getting involved in all that link-up play, coming short and having touches. All he wants to do is get in the box and score goals. And that's why I think it might work, because of that. Everyone, all the strikers that we have, bar Cavani to a little bit, they all want to get the ball. They want to come to feet. They want to be involved in the link-up. And you've then not necessarily got anyone to to be in the box to score goals, because they get to the byline, look up, and there's no one really in there, all looking for the cutback. Whereas Ronaldo's going to be in that box and wanting them goals from inside the 6-yard box, and Cavani to he does that. He makes them incredible runs. There's no one better that I've seen at the moment that makes decisive runs into the box, and he creates space, and he's a fantastic goal scorer.
Yeah, I do agree with that, because I think there was a time in the game when Mason got the ball, he passed it to Wan-Bissaka, but instead of making that run into the box that maybe Cavani or Ronaldo would have done, he kind of floated around the right-hand side channel, which I think is the difference between them and Ronaldo.
Exactly, but Mason's only young, and he's doing that because he knows if he gets the ball there, he wants to cut inside and have a shot with his left, or he can drive onto his right and have a shot there. But with experience, with playing week in, week out in the Premier League, he'll know that he won't be able to do that all the time. If he's going to be wanting to score goals week in, week out, he's going to have to get himself into the box.
What do you think of Greenwood? Because I think the kid is incredible.
He's phenomenal. Everyone's going on about his ability to score goals. He's the best finisher at the club, and you can see that it's just natural ability. And like for ages, you wouldn't be able to say, oh, he's 100%, he's left-footed, because he can go on his right and he can smash everything in with his right, and you're like, hold on, he's good. It's such a young age, bow-footed, got no fear, and he's an exceptional talent. So he's only going one way, and being able to learn off the likes of Cavani, Ronaldo, these players, because they, especially Ronaldo to me, because he started as a white player like Greenwood, and he's naturally turned himself into a goal scoring machine, and that's what Greenwood's going to eventually, they're going to want to put playing down the middle, because Sancho's going to be playing on the right. You've got Rashford that's got to come back. You've got Martial. You've got Cavani. You've got to have Ronaldo. He's going to have to fit in somewhere, because he's scoring every week at the moment. And for him to do that, he's got to learn off these players.
Because I've seen this guy in the academy score free kicks with both feet. I think this guy is incredible. I've never seen anything like it with Greenwood. So I'm just so excited to see how he learns over Ronaldo.
Exactly. And he looks like he's the type of kid that will look and learn and develop. So, it's exciting times for him.
Another talking point, Manchester United's midfield. The holding midfield area, the double pivot area. Fans, we still want that another player in there. What do you think of that area?
It's so difficult, isn't it? It's just trying to fit everyone in their correct positions, I think. You've got to have, obviously, Fernandes and at the moment Pogba. They're playing so well. So you're going to have one more spot unless you're playing Pogba on the left. That's the thing. You're compromising someone, because Pogba if he wants to play on that left hand side, then you're losing a sort of striker or a wide man, really. So then you're having to then put Fred, and McTominay's a big miss. I like him. So he's a miss, being injured. But Matic is a great player, but maybe not quite being able to play week in, week out. And it would be nice to get someone else, I would say, would be give you an option.
Where do you think Paul Pogba's best position is right now in this United side?
That's the ultimate question, isn't it? I think at the moment, because of the Rashford and being injured and Sancho not quite 100%, I think on that far left is where he likes to be comfortable, because he doesn't have all of that pressure to be defensively minded as much as he has in that central midfield role. I think he's got that license to roam. He's got that license to be that creative spark. But you can't play him there if everyone's fit. He needs to be playing in the middle, because you need that other attacking threat. So he needs to be able to be in that central midfield role.
I do kind of agree with it. I think long term, he will eventually move back into the midfield. But I think on the left-hand side, like today, I was kind of disappointed that he got dropped back into the midfield, because 5 assists from 2 games on that left-hand side. And I think
exactly
with the signing of Ronaldo, I think if we're looking at a main front four, I'm guessing it could be Paul Pogba on the left, Bruno in the 10, Sancho on the right, and Ronaldo up top. I think that's probably the most balanced front four that we're going to have, because I think when you have someone like Ronaldo, you need creators behind it. Pogba creates, Sancho creates, and Bruno Fernandes, for example, in my eyes, his first thought is always to score goals, to shoot. His creative numbers may be good, but his first thought is to shoot. Which is why I still do kind of want to see Paul Pogba stay on the left.
Yeah, I get it. It's trying to fit you. That's why you're at Man United. You've got so many top quality players. You just got to find the correct formation to fit them all in certain games as well. So that's why we're not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
I'm lucky because I'll be honest, that attacking talent that we have right now, for me, we have, in terms of depth in the forward areas, is the best in the league in my eyes. With the signing of Ronaldo, like I think most people it'll be difficult for you to debate that really.
No, I think you look at like Chelsea have got a fantastic squad of attacking players, but I still don't think they know exactly who's their best player and in what positions. I think City have obviously got a ridiculous amount of talent, and so do Liverpool. But I think, as you say, for depth and Ronaldo and Cavani, and well, you could put Martial in there. You could say Greenwood, and then you've got Rashford, Sancho, Pogba, Fernandes. It's a fantastic.
As of right now, we're still at Diallo as well.
Well, exactly, yeah.
Another player, you see Ruben Neves. Ruben Neves has kind of been linked with Manchester United all this summer. What do you think of him?
I think he's a brilliant player. He's a fantastic player. Where would he necessarily fit in at United is for me the more of a question of like, where would he play in the United team? Would he play holding midfielder with, for instance, instead of Fred? I don't know. I think he's a fantastic player. I just don't know whether he would potentially be the man to fill that if you're wanting to have that holding midfielder.
Yeah, I fully agree because I think this season, the Athletic were reporting it that United might want to switch to a 4-3-3 with the signing of Rafa Varane. Do I trust Ruben Neves to hold the midfield with Paul Pogba and Bruno Fernandes in front of him? The answer is probably no, but I think that's a very, very difficult job for any player. But say we do stick with a 4-2-3-1 and we play Pogba on the left, a Ruben Neves and Fred midfield might complement each other because Fred's tenacity winning the ball and then Ruben Neves is obviously technical ability on the ball. It could partner nicely.
Yeah, it could. Well, that's why we don't make these big decisions.
I'm trying to take Ruben Neves off of you guys.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. He's been an outstanding player for Wolves. He really has, and he's scored some incredible goals as well. And to be honest, that's what United need in that holding midfield. You need someone that's going to be able to get their foot on the ball and have that creative passing style, like a Carrick. That's what United need. That Carrick player that's going to get on the ball and start the attacks and break up play and then pass through the lines. And then you can have someone else that's going to have that, like you said, that rapid running around, closing people down. But you need that someone next to them that's going to be at that calming influence on the ball. And Neves is definitely, he's got that in abundance.
100% agree. Another midfielder that I think every United fan wants to talk about right now, Donny van der Beek. What do you think of Donny van der Beek as a footballer?
As a United player, it's disappointing because I haven't really seen enough of him to warrant having an opinion. Because every time that I've seen he's had that opportunity, I wouldn't say he's taken it, but I don't necessarily feel like it's his fault in a lot of the cases. The games that he's come in and played are not necessarily ones that you think, oh yeah, he should be shining bright in them games, or the whole team's been changed when he's playing, and it is so hard to then get a bit of momentum. And so I feel disappointed for him that he's not really had a run in the side that it's probably in the position that he wants to be in as well. And you can see in parts when he's just trying to get on the ball to just get a touch of the ball and just to try and be involved in the game, whereas not necessarily where he probably wants the ball. He wants to run into them positions that he's attacking, getting himself in the box and do what he did. And that was the reason why the United signed him. But I don't necessarily feel like he's been able to do that as yet.
Do you think he can play in the midfield pivot? In your eyes?
I think he can. I think he can. I think that he'll need a run of games, and I just don't know whether that's going to be an option.
Yeah, I think it's a difficult one, but at the same time, I'm not too sure if you watched it. United played Everton in pre-season, and we played a midfield pivot of Nemanja Matic and Donny van der Beek. And it actually looked very, very good. We were keeping the ball, we were moving the ball very quickly. So I think United fans are kind of frustrated that we haven't seen enough of him, because I think last year you can kind of excuse it. He's bulked up a little bit more, trying to probably like get himself to the physicality levels of the Premier League. He's done that, and we still haven't seen a minute of him in Premier League football this season.
Yeah, I think Solskjaer's come out and said he will get some more minutes, and he needs it. He needs to show what he can do, and I'm sure that's why they can see it in training. As players, you can see what other players are about in training. Whether they've got it or they don't, and everyone says that he has. So it's just about him getting the confidence to have a run of games in the team and do what he does best. And United fans haven't seen that yet, and so everyone's looking forward to hopefully getting that opportunity to see him have a run of games in the side and for him to show what he can do.
I hope he does get it, because every United fan knows that midfield is probably the weakest link in the entire 11, really, with Scott McTominay and Fred there most times. So it's kind of like, if their midfield are not performing right now, just give Donny a run, really.
Yeah, no, it's definitely an opportunity to give him a run in the side, especially when you look at the attacking players. He wants to be involved in that as well. But if you're putting him in that midfield, he needs to know that he's got that defensive that he needs to work on.
Yeah, I do kind of agree with that. But I think with the signing of Rafa Varane now, hopefully there's less. Like everyone really said last season, we played McTominay and Fred because of Victor Lindelof and Harry Maguire. Now we've got Rafa Varane, who's one of the best centre backs in the world. You can kind of take that bit of risk going forward.
I agree with that, but then you don't want to leave them on their own, because he could be the best centre back in the world. It doesn't matter. You can't be outnumbered going that way. But you're right that you can have that confidence in going, you know what, we've got unbelievable players behind us. We can go forward, and knowing that not every time, but we can leave them 1v1, because more often than not they're gonna win the ball back.
Especially with the signing of Rafa Varane, his recovery pace. Well, we saw it a couple of times today. Compliments Harry Maguire, who really likes that. Really,
exactly. I when I saw that team sheet, I looked in that for that back five, including De Gea, is the best it's been for a long time, and it's an exciting one.
And adding Ronaldo to that top line, the delivery that he's going to have from Luke Shaw, potentially Diego Dallo if he gets more games, it could be really, really good for United. Where do you think United will finish this season to wrap things up?
If I'm being completely honest, I'm looking at they've got to be in and up with. Unfortunately, it's going to be City and Chelsea for me that are going to probably be fighting it out, and United need to be up with them. They've got the squad to fight for it now. It's just about consistency, and that's what you see today. Greenwood's got them out of a bit of trouble, really, because they didn't quite do that performance. But that is the sign of a good side. When they don't necessarily play well, but they win the game. So it's a massive bonus.
Well, hopefully we actually play well for a couple more games, because I think that's kind of been a frustrating thing. We never really play well, but we always just get the points, because the players that we have, in my eyes, are just incredible.
Yeah, but as fans want to see good football, and that I totally get it. But winning games of football is that's what it's all about. And if you're at the end of the season, no one's going to really care. Go, oh, we didn't really play that well, but we won the league. No one's going to care about that. You're going to care about is you've been won a trophy at the end of that season.
Wait, would you sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer if he doesn't compete for a title this year?
For me, I think there's a lot more pressure this season than there would have been last season because of the signings that he's made. So that makes it even more. The opportunity that if he doesn't take it this season, that it could ultimately get him the sack. Yes.
What about Champions League expectations?
I think it's huge. Yeah, You look at what you've signed. Varane won the Champions League. Ronaldo won the Champions League. You know, you've the experience and the players that they've got. They've got to be expecting to do well in the Champions League. Definitely, they've got the squad to do it now as well. They can rotate in the games. They've got so many different options. They have to do well in the Champions League. I almost think they've got. I've almost feel like they've got the squad to do well in the Champions League, and the type of players that they've got. I think that's better suited for the Champions League as well.
Yeah, I do kind of agree with that, with the counter-attacking football that you probably see more in the Champions League than the Premier League, really. And I think as a side, we're probably not the most consistent, but I think in the Champions League, if you get a little run together, you never know, really.
Yeah, definitely.
But anyway, that has been your video today. Matt Jarvis, former Premier League footballer, spilling all the tea about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, whether we'll sack him or not, whether Wolves, or how Wolves are doing right now. But thank you for coming on.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe, and comment your thoughts on this video. But anyway, bye-bye.